My friends just sent a message in the group chat. They want to go to that new Italian restaurant downtown this Saturday. Everyone is saying, yes, I'm in, can't wait, and I'm just staring at my phone. My bank account is screaming no, but my mind is screaming, don't be the only one who says no. Don't be the boring one. Don't be the one who kills the mood. So I'll probably just type, sounds great, and then spend the next 3 days feeling sick with anxiety about the bill. How do you say no without losing your friends?
Most students believe the challenge is finding the right words to say no. A perfect excuse. They look for a script that is polite, but also a little vague, something that hides the real reason.
Right. Like saying, oh, I'm busy that night, or I have a family thing.
Exactly. But the real problem isn't the words you use to say no. The real problem is that your goal is to escape the conversation.
What other goal is there? I just want to get out of the situation without anyone thinking I'm cheap or poor.
The new goal is not to escape the conversation, but to change it. To change it from a conversation about spending money to a conversation about spending time together.
That sounds nice, but in a group chat, when everyone's excited, it feels impossible. It's easier to just invent an excuse.
Let's talk about the perfect excuse. Most students think it's their best tool.
It feels like the safest option. No one gets their feelings hurt. I don't have to talk about money. It's a clean exit.
It feels safe in the moment. But what happens next week when they invite you to a concert? And the week after when they want to go on a weekend trip?
I have to come up with another excuse. I'm busy again, or I'm not feeling well.
And after a few months of this, what do your friends start to believe?
That I don't want to see them. That I'm always busy for them. That I'm not interested in being part of the group anymore.
The perfect excuse doesn't solve your money problem. It creates a friendship problem. It builds a small wall between you and your friends, and you do it one brick at a time. The real failure of the excuse is that it hides your reality.
But I don't want to share my reality. My reality is that I'm stressed about money and they're not. That's awkward. I hesitate. I just freeze.
That feeling is important. You hesitate because you feel a conflict between what your friends want and what you need. Most people see that hesitation as a sign of weakness, but it's not. It's a signal. It's your mind telling you that the current plan doesn't work for you. You don't need to hide that signal with an excuse. You just need to learn how to communicate it. When you feel that urge to hesitate, it's a sign that you need to speak, not disappear.
Okay, so no more fake excuses. But that brings me back to the bigger fear. Judgment. If I say I can't afford it, all I can imagine is my friends feeling awkward, or worse, pitying me, thinking, oh, Mark has money problems. It changes how they see me.
That is the core belief that needs to change. The belief that your financial situation defines your value in the friendship.
It feels like it does. We live in a world where what you do, where you go, it's all tied to money. It's a status thing, even if nobody says it out loud.
And because that feeling is so strong, we imagine the worst possible reaction from our friends. But that reaction is usually in our own minds. You are judging yourself far harshly than your friends are. The solution isn't to say, I'm broke or I have no money. That language feels heavy and negative. The new way of thinking is to frame it as a choice, not a failure. It's about your personal plan.
What do you mean, a choice? Not having enough money doesn't feel like a choice.
But how you manage it is. Consider the difference. Version A is, sorry guys, I can't, I'm broke. That sounds like a sad ending to the conversation. Version B is, that sounds like so much fun, but it's not in my budget right now. One is a statement of victimhood. The other is a statement of control. My budget means I have a plan, and this doesn't fit in my plan.
Not in my budget right now. It does sound different. It sounds more responsible, less emotional.
It is. It shifts the focus from a lack of money to the presence of a plan. And you can be even more specific if you feel comfortable. For example, I'm saving up for a new laptop, so I'm being really careful with my spending on restaurants this month. Ah, so now I don't sound poor. I sound focused. I sound like I have goals. Precisely. You're not asking for pity. You're sharing a small, honest piece of your life. Good friends respect that. In fact, it builds trust. You're being transparent with them. True friendship is built on that kind of transparency, not on pretending that everything is perfect.
Okay, I can see how being transparent is better than making excuses, but there's still a problem. I say, that sounds fun, but it's not in my budget. The conversation just stops. I've said no, I've solved my money problem, but I've just created another one. I'm still the person on the outside, watching the fun happen without me.
This is the third and most important turning point, the belief that saying no is the end of your contribution.
It feels like it is. I've just rejected their idea.
A simple no is a rejection, but a skilled no is a negotiation. It's a pivot. Many people believe that once they say no, their job is done, but it's only half done. The quiet failure of a simple no is that it puts all the work back on your friends to figure out how to include you.
Right, and they probably won't. They'll just say, okay, no problem, see you next time. And the plan moves on.
Exactly. The new way to think is this. Every no must come with a yes. You say no to the specific expensive plan, but you immediately say yes to the underlying desire to connect with them.
So what would that sound like?
Let's use your restaurant example. Your friends propose the expensive Italian place. You could type, "That place looks amazing. It's a bit out of my budget for this month, though." That's the transparent no. Then you immediately add the yes. You add an alternative. "But I'd love to see you all. What about we cook pasta at my place on Friday? Or we could all meet for a drink at that cheaper pub near the university afterwards."
So I'm not just shutting it down. I'm offering a different path, a different way for us to get what we all want, which is to hang out.
You are showing that you value their company more than the specific activity. You're saying, "I want to see you. The place is not important to me." You are. This simple act of suggesting an alternative transforms you from the person who says no into the person who has creative, fun ideas.
That makes so much sense for one person, but what about in a big group chat? If I suggest we all cook at my place instead, it feels like I'm trying to cancel everyone's big plan. It feels selfish.
This is the resistance. The theory sounds good, but the real-world social pressure feels too strong. You're right, in a group, it's harder.
The momentum is already there. 3 people have already said yes. It feels like trying to stop a train.
What you're feeling is the power of the group default. The default setting for most friend groups is to slowly get more and more expensive over time. Someone suggests something a little nicer, and everyone agrees to be polite. It becomes the new standard. No one stops to ask if it works for everyone. Your job is not to stop the train. Your job is to offer a different station for those who want to get off.
What do you mean?
In your message, you don't have to challenge the main plan. You can validate it. You can say, "You guys should definitely go to that restaurant. It looks incredible. I can't join for dinner, but I'd love to meet up with you all for a drink around 10 p.m. at the bar next door."
Oh, so I'm not ruining anything. I'm just creating a second, cheaper way to be part of the night.
Exactly. You are giving other people in the group who might be feeling the exact same way you do a different option. You would be surprised how many are silently relieved when someone offers a more affordable way to connect. You are not being selfish. You are being a leader.
So the whole system is connected. I feel that moment where I hesitate. Instead of making an excuse, I choose to be transparent about my budget, framing it as a personal plan. But I don't just stop there. I immediately offer an alternative, a different way to connect. Or in a group, I offer a way to join the event part way.
And by doing this, you are breaking the default. You're gently reminding the group that the goal is connection, not consumption. It feels awkward the first time because it's a new behavior, but it gets easier.
Does it? It still feels like a lot of emotional work every single time.
It is at first, but you need to be consistent. When you handle these situations the same way every time, your friends learn. They learn that Mark is honest about his budget. They learn that Mark will always suggest a fun, cheaper alternative. After a while, they might even start to plan with you in mind. They might say, "Let's do the fancy dinner next week because we know Mark is saving money. This week, let's do a picnic in the park so everyone can come."
So if I'm consistent, they'll stop proposing things I can't afford?
Not necessarily. They will still propose those things, but they will know your likely response, and they won't be surprised or offended by it. The awkwardness disappears because your honesty becomes a normal, predictable part of your friendship. You've taught them how to be your friend in a way that respects your financial goals. So I don't have to hesitate every time an invitation arrives in my phone. My friends will already know my position. Yes, and you won't need to find a new excuse. You can be transparent because it's just who you are. The group default won't feel so powerful.
Because I've already shown them another way. I've already offered an alternative plan in the past.
You have. You've replaced a pattern of anxiety and excuses with a pattern of honesty and creativity. It's a profound shift.
It's strange. All this time, I thought the problem was about money. I was so focused on the price of the dinner, but it was never about the money. It was about my fear of being disconnected from my friends. My fear that saying no to the dinner was the same as saying no to them.
And now you see?
I do. Saying that's not in my budget isn't a wall. It's an invitation. It's inviting them to find a different, maybe even better way to connect with me. I was so worried about what they would think of me, but I was the one making it all about money. They probably just want to see me.
Hello to everyone listening. We're Sarah and Mark. If there's another common situation that makes you hesitate, a moment where you feel stuck between what you should do and what you want to do, tell us about it in the comments. We'd love to explore it in our next episode.